Welcome to Wellspring Wednesday. Last week I was meeting with coming-of-age teachers right outside, sitting 6 feet apart with masks on, and we thought for sure that we would be planning for the return to church, for the return of in-person classes. And we realized that we were not, and we started to make those plans anyway for coming-of-age. And at the end of the planning, one of the teachers stepped into the church with me for just a moment to help put a chair away. And she said, "Drew, you don't know how much I miss this place." And a tear was in her eye. And we looked at each other 6 feet apart, and we just felt it. And we gave each other that hug from a distance, and just held that yearning, and we know it's going to be a little bit longer, but the love is there. The love will bring us back together. Come, let us worship together. This makes great video, doesn't it?
Whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of me, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet
Each week, we request RE family members to send us joys and sorrows from the past week so that we can hold them here together to consider them and to be happy about them and to give support where necessary. If you want to send in a joy or sorrow, you can email me anytime. Otherwise, look for your invite soon. This week, we asked teachers from the COA program to tell us their joys and sorrows. We had teacher Tom Sherman and his family. A sorrow was 18 months ago when I was informed that our daughter Maria's original adoption in 2002 was not complete, and that she was not a citizen. I needed that to get corrected by her 18th birthday, which is 2 weeks from now, or she'd have to start the process all over as a green card holder. Adding to my worries was the anti-immigrant bias in the White House. The process was complex, goofy, and required many documents. Some I had to request from multiple government agencies, but it is now complete. She had her ceremony 2 weeks ago, and she is now a full-blown citizen. Now and forever. What a joy. From Katrina Nichols, who has joined the coming-of-age teacher team this year, which is a joy, and her wife, Jess Landgraf. These joys, getting to meet new friends at a brand new school this fall. And sorrows, recognizing that it's always hard to start a new job, and starting one in a pandemic just feels a little extra hard right now. For Megan Hall, Leo Bickelhaupt, Dylan, and Rosalie Bickerhall. Our family has been wrapped up in the process of saying goodbye to our cat, Willie, who died at home from cancer last night. Dylan has been very sad, and this is our sorrow. Dylan has joined the St. Paul mountain biking team along with Violet Bear Benson, and his dad is volunteering as coach. Dylan is very excited for the start of the middle schools at OWL and being at OWL, and is spending time setting up his virtual learning station. So these are joys. Will you join me in prayer? Holy One, for the loss of a pet, for a new job, for seeing people again, albeit virtually, for citizenship, for all these joys and sorrows. We feel them so intensely, and we wish, we yearn to be together, to share, to support, and love. Give us patience. Spirit, give us patience, knowing that love will be there. It holds. We hold it up. It will hold. It will keep us together. And again, we will gather together. May it be so. Amen.
Once upon a time, a great and beloved composer died. He was survived by a brilliant group of students who loved their teacher, but among themselves, they were fiercely competitive with rivalries and jealousies. I'm the best student. No, I'm the best student. Well, you may be the best student, but I'm the most true student of my teacher. No, I am. And so it went back and forth. It seemed as if their ranking, how important they were, mattered so much more than the fact that their beloved teacher had died. The composer's brother knew all about these jealousies and rivalries. And so after thinking, the brother retrieved one of the composer's final compositions, and he took that manuscript, and with a scissor, he cut that one and only composition into fragments. Each fragment, he put it in an envelope, and he mailed it to the composer's students. When they went and retrieved their mail, the students were aghast because they saw the music of their beloved teacher, but cut up. They were looking at a fragment, and they knew right away that this was the original, the one and only manuscript. How could this have come to be? Some of them, knowing how priceless their fragment was, they framed it and they mounted it on their wall. Sometime later, the composer's brother sent another letter to each of the students. And in the letter, he said, "You are the beloved students, and you are each holding a fragment of an one and only original manuscript. Rather than competing with one another, wouldn't it be more in honor, in keeping with your love of your teacher, to gather, to turn in your separate fragments, and then we can have a copyist make enough copies of that music so that you all can perform that composition?" One by one, they were convinced, and so each of them came with their fragment, turned it in, and copies of the full music were made. At their first rehearsal, they were playing fiercely, beautifully, when they all came to a sudden stop. They realized that there was a whole fragment, a segment of the original composition that had not been turned in, that was still missing. Indeed, one of the students thought that he did not want to return his fragment. In fact, he thought that if he held onto this missing piece, that it would only increase in value, and that one day he might be able to make a profit from it. on the night of the performance, the concert hall was filled. Everybody who loved the music of this composer, everyone was there. And the students came with their instruments, and the music began. And they played with heart and passion. And then they came to a moment when the missing fragment was 32 bars of silence. The students dropped their instruments, they bowed their heads, and they kept time for 32 bars of silence. And then the music resumed and concluded. The audience was electrified. They were astounded at the silent acknowledgement of the composer's absence. They were stunned by the acknowledgement that something in the world of music was now forever absent and missing. At the end of the rousing applause, the composer's brother stepped up and he addressed the gathered audience. Friends of my brother, the composer, we have now listened this evening to my brother's final gift to the world. The music has reminded us of how my brother is present and also absent to us now. This moment of silence, this moment of feeling the incompleteness of music, friends, can be a sacred incompleteness. That in absence and this feeling of incompleteness, it can be sacred in that it calls us together and to connect as best as we are able to. Then this incompleteness reminds us of the work to again and again lean into each other so that one day everything might be complete and one day the music will be perfect. But for now, we are given this sacred gift of silence, of absence, of incompleteness that calls us deeper and closer to love. May that be so, and amen.